Hey, beautiful people. How are ya? I'm coming to you again from the car. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to jump on here really quick. And I want to talk about when people listen to respond versus listening to understand or comprehend. So I have a friend. And so when she's talking, I listen. When I talk or respond, sometimes she can cut you off. You ever notice that? Sometimes you could be in a conversation with someone and you're talking, because the conversation goes like this. I say something and then you say something. Then you say something and then I say something. But within that, there need to be some pauses to listen. And there need to be some pauses to comprehend and understand what that person is saying. Well, she will cut you off and then begin to respond. And I'll let her finish. And then I'll be like, okay, now that you're through responding to what you thought I was going to say, let me continue to say what I'm going to say, and then her response or her reply would be something totally different. So a lot of times we can get caught up in listening to respond instead of listening to understand and comprehend what the other person is saying. If someone takes the time, and for this, it don't even really be a lot of anything serious. It could just be just a general conversation. So, I'm not saying it's something, totally serious. But if someone is taking the time to share, to even hold a conversation, because, this day and age, everybody's engaging their phone, texting, scrolling, so there are people that want to still do it the old fashioned way and sit down and have a conversation. Are we mindful of being able to listen to comprehend or listen to understand what the person is saying? Because if you think about it, sometimes, not all the times, but there are some cases when in a conversation your response is not even required, and that's a mouthful, because we are, as a society, I feel we know everything. We want to let everyone know that we know everything, that we are this brainiac type person, so to speak, that we have all the answers. But sometimes we can just sit back and just listen and to receive. So that's another one. We listen to respond, because now we want to have our rebuttal. We want to say what we know. We want to get our part and our point across, that we know. Or sometimes pride can be involved with that. But then there's the response, the listening, to receive and understand. Especially if someone is sharing something with you that you might not know. But then there again, pride can sneak in and be like, well, I know such and such. Let me go ahead and interject the part that I know, and then you can absolutely miss out on what the person's trying to share. We have to be in a place in our life where we can receive. So then there's listening to receive, and with that, you do have to take the pride and the ego out of that. I know no one has to tell me anything. I know, that we don't know everything. We don't know everything. So there will be times in life where you do have to respond. You have to listen to receive. Listening to receive what the person has to say. And with that, sometimes the truth hurts. With that, it could be something that you're not even interested in. It could be something that the other person's completely interested in, excited about, but you still have to be mature enough to be able to listen to receive what they have to say. You may even learn something, and not always be in the mindset of having to listen to respond so you can get your part out. This could be a moment of like esteeming others higher than yourself. You're treating people how you want to be treated. If you have this information, you have this excitement, this new thing you have going on, or whatever, new job opportunity, you would really want someone to sit there and like listen and let you get all of it out, so that you can feel the emotion of it, the excitement of it, not someone cutting you off and like, oh yeah, well, I remember when I had a job interview, and it diminishes and it takes away the joy and excitement of what this person wanted to share. And then if you're not careful, this person can then begin to withdraw or begin to pull back, because their mindset could change. Be like, well, what's the point of even talking? I found myself with this individual I was talking about earlier. It's almost like sometimes I have to preface the conversation and be like, okay, I'm about to start talking, and I want you to let me finish. We shouldn't be having conversations with people that you have to have like instructions. Okay, I'm about to tell you something, and I need you just to listen. We should be in a point of maturity when we know when to listen. Our spiritual discernment should be heightened enough that when someone is talking, from their tone, from your discernment, from the conversation, is when you need to just zip it and just listen. Because sometimes people just, need an ear. Sometimes people just want to get it off the chest, which that can be therapeutic. We can get to a point where we hold stuff in, one, because we feel or we think people aren't going to listen. Prime example, people cutting you off before you even finish talking. And I know this has probably happened to more people than just me, but like, just think about it. How do you feel when that happens? You're talking and someone cut you off to respond, and be like, yo, I ain't done talking, so just being mindful of that, and extending that same grace to the other person. So that's what I had. I was just thinking, are we a people, or are we an individual that listens to respond, listens to receive, or listen to understand and comprehend? Because each one requires different hearing abilities. So this was short and sweet. I hope you guys are doing great. Until next time, remember who you are.